Episode 2 of the Sooner Saloon. I'm Taylor Reed. This is my brother Nicholas Reed. And Oklahoma Tulane. Sloppy win. Very sloppy win.
Very unimpressed with today.
Yeah.
To say the least.
I mean, I don't... So, go ahead. I don't know.
Today, Oklahoma came out, and they thought this game was going to be an absolute cakewalk.
They did. That's exactly what it was.
But guess what? Tulane showed up into Norman. This game was scheduled in New Orleans, but due to the hurricane, things switched up early in the week. Come to Norman, and they're prepared. They're very prepared.
They were more than prepared.
They're coming out throwing fists.
And we took a few notes here during the game just so we could remember what we're talking about here. Michael Pratt, the quarterback for Tulane, hell of a guy. The dude, didn't he have a bloody nose? Like, didn't he get...
Dude's helmet came off multiple times during the game, but he was very comfortable in the pocket.
That guy has some heart.
Very comfortable in the pocket, making the right decisions, fought his ass off. You know, on the last possession of the game, it was a yard short on that fourth down conversion.
A yard.
You could have very well lost this game.
Oh, yeah. It came down to the last possession. Against Tulane. Oklahoma, guys, just to start off here, Oklahoma was a 31-point favorite last time I looked. 31-point favorite.
I predicted this game to be a 66-10 game. I was thinking Spencer Rattler's going to go off. He's going to have 4 touchdowns in the first half. And Caleb Williams is going to come in the second half and dominate. Second team's going to dominate. Second team on defense is going to dominate. It's not how this game went. And I realized that early in the game. And, you know, Spencer Rattler, the first possession of the game is his second pass attempt of the game. His first pass attempt past the line of scrimmage. He forces it to Jaden Hazelwood in double coverage. You could even argue triple coverage. He forces the ball picked off.
Yeah. And
right away set the tone.
They scored. They scored off that.
Yep.
They scored off that. You know, it wasn't like the last time we played Tulane, 2017 with Baker Mayfield.
Right after Ohio State.
Yeah, and I get it. That time, they popped off 7-0. I think we scored, and then they scored again, 14-7, a lot like this was. But after that 14, that second touchdown they scored was all Oklahoma after that. Not the case today at all. Nick, last week I asked you and Emerson 3 things that you guys would like to see. One of the things was you wanted to see defense play lights out. That was the first thing you said. On a scale of A+ to an F, what would you rate defense playing lights out today?
The turnovers were great. We had 3 turnovers. None of them come from the secondary. All fumble recoveries.
3 turnovers. We had 3 turnovers today.
But I want to see the secondary more. I want to see them making their T-step, coming down the ball, making tackles. I want to see them play the ball more. There's been too many blown assignments. If I had to give this defense an overall grade, I mean, it would probably have to be a C. It's Tulane. You give them 35 points in this matchup. 35 points, and, you know, this is nowhere near, you know, a top team in the country.
Did you see K-State today? Did you see K-State today? K-State is going to knock the brakes out of Oklahoma in Manhattan this year for a 3rd straight year if they play like this.
That's a tough place to play. We've both been there. That crowd is energized, and it's crazy. It's
That's what's going to
happen. It's a
happen.
great home field.
That's what's going to happen. So
that's a trap game. 100%. That's a trap game.
Yeah. And every year, sometimes you just... I even talked about it last episode. How Oklahoma drops the game to random teams. I feel more comfortable with Oklahoma playing good teams on their schedule than
That's
teams
why I'm
like
tired.
Tulane.
I'm tired of having those schedules.
Yes, and then these FCS schools, like next week, who are they playing? Like North Dakota State or some shit? Or
it's like
School of the Blind and Deaf?
Yeah, basically. It's a high school team.
That's all it's going to be. And then it's going to be Oklahoma racking up points on offense, defense shutting them down, and then they're going to blow them out of the water, and you're not going to know how good they are.
No.
It's not going to say anything. And then they got Nebraska coming to town right after that. And Nebraska played all right today, but they played
another high school
team. They played
team.
the middle school team from down the road here. So you don't know, it's...
Here's the problem. Every single time OU's ranked high within the top 4, they always think they're badass.
They are.
They always underestimate teams, and they play like shit. Truly, they play like shit. It's when OU is a ranked 15 team and they surprise everybody.
Exactly.
It's like all these players have been watching too much ESPN. Rattler knows he's up for Heisman. He knows he's the top quarterback in this next upcoming draft, the 2022 NFL draft. He knows he's the number 1 quarterback that could possibly be taken, but he didn't show that today.
Could be the number 1 quarterback.
He could be.
Could be.
He's got the potential.
And guys, we still love our Sooners, okay? We still do. And, there may be some people watching this and they're like, oh, these guys are just bad-mouthing their team, whatever. No, here's the deal, okay? We're Sooners all day. Oklahoma goes 1-11 and they beat Oklahoma State. I'm down for that. They beat Oklahoma State. They go 2-10. They beat Texas and Oklahoma State. Cool. Okay, we're gonna complain on stuff like this. Okay, that's just how it is. We're always gonna be Sooner fans. Sooner fans are gonna get pissy at time to time.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. You're ranked number 2 in the country, and you have such high expectations. People are bragging about your defense. Finally.
Desmond Howard.
Finally.
Desmond Howard picked Oklahoma to win the national championship. That dude picks against Oklahoma every time. Every time. Every time. And he picked Oklahoma to win the national championship. Kirk Herbstreit's a lover of OU here and there. I mean,
he's been consistent with
yeah,
OU.
he has. But Desmond Howard, that should tell you something. If Desmond Howard from College Game Day picks you to win the national championship.
It's all about expectations. It's about the defense. It's because we actually have a defense. And it's hard to pick OU when they have a rank 111 to 129th defense in the country. So what? Your offense is ranked number 1. So what? Your
it doesn't matter.
Defense wins championships.
It does.
Ultimately.
And that we've proved that the last playoffs, because when they played Alabama, what was the score? 45-31. Is that what it was? I can't remember. It was.
Yeah, 45-31. I do
or 33.
believe,
no, they won by 11. It was. I don't give whatever.
45-34.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. We still lost. Okay. And they were coming back in the second half. You could say Alabama was kind of letting the dogs off, whatever. But Oklahoma had a complete shit defense that year. If they would have at least had a 50, rank 50, at least 60, even 70 defense, dude, I'm telling you. We could have.
If Oklahoma has an average defense in 2017, we're national champions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That Georgia loss was the most painful loss I've ever witnessed as an OU fan. The Boise State loss was heartbreaking, but it was a Fiesta Bowl. Okay, I can't. I'm too. Yeah. Well, anyway. Back to
Today was rough.
It was. Sorry.
Today was rough.
Sorry.
I smell something pretty sweet. You want to know what that smells like, boy?
What's that smell, Gabe?
Just had to come in here and interrupt you and remind you.
Gabe's a KU fan, a KU football fan. I said that last time.
All I got to say is it smells like fall time in Lawrence in 2007, baby.
2007.
Like
we're bringing up 2007.
Because my boys just knocked off that 13-game losing streak. They're done. And I'm feeling a little comeback coming on. I feel like this season's the one.
2019.
OU basketball all day.
2019 was the last time KU won a football game.
Our audio guy's a big KU fan in football and an OU fan in basketball. You know, whoever wants to form your opinion about that, Gabe doesn't give a shit. So, anyway.
Hey, hats off to KU. They
Hats off
squeaked
to
a
KU.
win.
They stormed the
17
field.
to 14.
Okay.
Big 12. Killing it so far.
There we go. Nick, the second thing you said. The second thing you said last week was that you want to see a consistent run game. Okay. So.
That's rough.
Okay. We had 116 yards rushing today.
And 94 of that is Kennedy Brooks,
Yeah. So.
who wasn't even the original starter.
Yeah. So what? With that being said, what do you rate that? A+ to F.
Man,
A+ to F. What do you rate that?
specifically the running game. Well, it would help if you had an offensive line that helped to block. It was terrible. There's a lot of blown assignments that I saw. And I mean, Kennedy Brooks, he's averaging 6.2 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, it's good actually, but it's Tulane. He's got 94 yards.
Not to
and he's
interrupt
got
Nick, but
a touch-
as we're talking, Georgia just beat Clemson 10-3 final. Just thought
my
I'd
prediction.
throw that
You guys took Clemson. That's me. +1.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
But seriously, this running game, that's OU's base. In order to pass well, you gotta run the ball. Kennedy Brooks was the guy today. He had 94 yards rushing, and he had a touchdown as well.
There you go. What would you rate it though? What'd you say? Did you say anything?
I would rate
116
it.
yards rushing.
I would rate it with OU standard a C+.
Okay.
C+. Eric Gray didn't do a whole lot. And that was my guy. I had a lot of high expectation for Eric Gray. I know it's week 1.
I get it.
He's
yeah.
gonna come on.
I got
I
it.
know he will. But in order for OU's offense to really click, they gotta establish that rush game.
Absolutely. We're down to 2 scholarship running backs. 2.
That was the problem last year.
Yeah.
When you don't have Ramondre Stevenson, you had T.J. Pledger back there, but he's not the physical back that Ramondre is.
I know. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just frustrating.
And we're spoiled. We get it. We're OU fans. We're spoiled. We're bitching and pissing and moaning about a freaking win. Okay? I get it. No, I don't get it. I don't. Whatever. Okay. Nick, the third thing you said you wanted to see last week was you wanted to see a good special teams play. Maybe specifically a good kicking game. You almost got that today. What was your opinion on special teams today overall, and what was your opinion on the kicking game? What would you rate it? A+ to F.
I specifically said special teams there.
Yes.
And I got a lot to say about that.
Okay.
Gabe Burchick tied an NCAA record of he got 3 kicks from 50 yards plus.
Yeah.
One
he
from
did.
51.
Absolutely.
He got one from 56 and 55.
Uh-huh.
That was awesome, you know. And
Right before halftime too. Was that a 56-yard field goal?
56-yard field goal.
As time expired and they went in the locker room.
In the second quarter, we played lights out.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the problem. We had 3 turnovers total in this game. We scored 3 points off those turnovers. But
was that total or was that
total?
The first turnover when Pratt, that's his name, Michael Pratt, he fumbled, and I think Nick Benito picked it up.
Yeah, it was kind of a
It was
missed
off the snap. Yeah, it was off the snap.
And Nick Benito jumped in there
Okay.
and snagged it from him.
So he picked it up, and they got 3 points off that, correct?
Yep.
The next one was a strip. Ugh. They got a field goal off that too, didn't they? I can't remember. It was a shitty game, fellas. I don't remember.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So.
Either way, you're not scoring touchdowns out of that.
No.
You got to capitalize on all those turnovers. But anyways, Gabe Burchick, he tied the NCAA record. 51, 56, and 55. All 50 plus. When it really counts from 31 yards out, to seal the game, he shanks it.
Where were they at on that one, you said?
31 yards.
Was it off to the side, or was it straight up the middle? Do you remember?
I believe he hooked it left.
Okay. Is he a freshman?
Oh, no. No, he was here 2020 and 2019. 2019, he had a hell of a year.
He was our kicker in 2019?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. Anyway, so what would you rate it? A+ to an F.
I would have to give him. I would give him a B+.
Okay.
And I only say that because he had to come up clutch in that last moment because OU was so close to being upset. 1 yard, I think.
Yeah.
Was
one.
The determining factor.
One.
Unless OU somehow gets another turnover, I didn't see him coming out with that.
I know. So it was a very sloppy win. It wasn't a loss like BYU, Houston in 2016. That was
BYU is kind of a different story. There's a lot of factors.
I get it. So back to opening home sloppy wins. I think it was 2010. Fact checkers, 2010. Can you guys check? I think it was Utah State that we played the first game of the season. I think it was.
Landry Jones, Ryan Broyles.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray. Cause
Kenny Stills.
Yeah, was it 2010 Utah State? 31-24. Look at that. So 2010.
We were in Emerson's basement.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Was that a pay-per-view game?
Yes, it was.
That was a pay-per-view game. 31-24. We thought we were just completely screwed after that game. Oklahoma came back and beat the shit out of Florida State at home after that. Oklahoma went on to win the Fiesta Bowl. I think they finished a 12-2 record that year, 2010, were they 12-2?
Beat Connecticut.
Yeah, in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yep.
Were they 12-2? I think they had 2 losses. One to Missouri and one to Texas A&M.
Yep.
Was that what it
Ryan
was?
Tannehill.
Is that right? Texas
Ryan
A&M?
Tannehill was there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Oklahoma that year, they started off a really sloppy win. It wasn't this bad. They had a sloppy win, and then the next week they beat the shit out of Florida State. Okay?
I mean, the whole thing out of today was...
But they weren't number 2 that year.
I get it.
They weren't number 2.
But you beat Missouri, and you're in the top 5. And it was a close game. That was a close game that year. But OU just has to prepare themselves. They can't...
Absolutely.
They're way too confident in all these predictions because I know they've been watching.
Yeah.
I know they have been watching. They cannot treat a game like it's a cakewalk. You gotta treat 1 week at a time.
You do that in the SEC. Okay, here's the deal. People, my opinion about the SEC, I think they're a good damn conference. I really do.
They're the best.
They are. They're the best conference. But here's the deal. Other than the top, 3 or 4 teams, they're all shit. Okay? But those shit teams, they will beat you on a day.
It's not the Big 12, man.
Like today.
It's not the Big 12.
If Oklahoma showed up to any of these teams like they did Tulane, they're going to get stomped by Kentucky.
Will get rocked.
Stomped by a Tennessee. stomped by a fucking whoever, okay? So, at the end of the day, okay, total yards, Oklahoma 430, Tulane had 396, okay? Rushing yards, Oklahoma had 116, like we said, with Nick's run game when he was talking about that earlier. 116, Tulane had 100, okay? Passing yards, we had 314, Tulane had 296. We gave up 2 turnovers. We had 2 turnovers of our own, and those were interceptions from Spencer Rattler, and we forced 3 turnovers from Tulane. 33 minutes and 22 seconds of time possession. Tulane had 26 minutes 38 seconds time of possession. Rattler was 30 completions, 39 throws for 30 completions with 304 yards. 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, okay? 1 rush touchdown, okay? Nick, as we wrap this up today, okay? As we wrap it up, I want to know your full thought and your full... What are you feeling, okay? As we wrap this up, I want to know exactly what you're feeling at the end of this game, going into next week, and where you think Oklahoma should be ranked. Because we all know, fellas, that Oklahoma shouldn't be number 2. I mean, come on, guys. Number 5 Georgia beat number 3 Clemson. They're gonna be number 2 next week. Nick, what do you got? Final thoughts.
Here's the thing. Spencer Rattler was forcing the ball downfield. He was looking for the big play. You know, first possession, second pass of the game. I already stated this. He forces it to Jaden Hazelwood. He was looking for the big play all day long. Just believe in the play call. Believe in Lincoln Riley. Take what you can get. And move on. I was kind of disappointed that we were moving away from running it on first down.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just run it on first down and make that defense respect the run. Because that's going to set up the pass all day long. I'm looking for these receivers to break out. It seems like Marvin Mims.
Besides Marvin Mims.
Well, it seems like Marvin Mims is the guy. He's going to be the guy this year as well. He had 117 yards. He had 0 touchdowns. He was so close to 2 touchdowns. He was down at the 1-yard line on both of those.
Yes. Marvin Mims, fellas, if you just count the Tulane game as the 2021 season, is the offense. By the way, sorry, Nick, go ahead.
We need to establish that run game. That's very important. That's where the OU base is. That's the base of the offense. If you establish that run game, you will get the passing game. I didn't see a lot of that today. Our next guy on receiving, I want at least 2 guys with 1,000 yards, pretty close to that range.
Rod Broyles, Kenny Stills.
You got Marvin Mims. The next guy was less than 50 yards, and that guy was Jaden Hazelwood. You know, you had Mario Williams. He got the only touchdown catch of the game from Spencer Rattler. But you know, it was just kind of a sloppy performance. You know, it was a short pass. It was a screen play, but he made a really good effort to get in. He made a head fake, and he got to the outside. He got to the pylon.
Yeah. But,
you know, none of those guys had 50-plus yards beside Marvin Mims. And that was one of the things I'm looking for. I want those guys to have a breakout year. I know we didn't have Theo Weiss, but we got Mike Woods, and I think Mike Woods is one of those guys that has a lot of potential. But that's really what I'm looking for. I need these receivers to break out.
We need receivers like Ryan Broyles and Malcolm Kelly, Joaquin Iglesias, Mark Clayton. More of those. So,
The C.D. Lambs, the Marquise Browns,
yeah,
all of them.
I get it. I'm more of, yeah. Nick, last thought right here. What do you got before we wrap it up? What are you feeling? What do you got?
Just very disappointing win. This is the sloppiest win that I've seen as an OU fan in a really long time. I can't remember another sloppy win as bad as this one, and that hurts to say.
I got a cramp in my leg. I'm good. Sorry. Guys, we're not ESPN. We're not Kirk Herbstreit. I got a cramp in my left leg and it hurts. Damn!
I just want to say I don't feel bad for you.
I don't want to mess up this.
Sometimes that's what happens. Anyways.
Feels like a metal rod going through my leg right now, my left leg. Okay, so anyway, ow. Nick, close it out.
Just a sloppy performance and all. I expect the Sooners to bounce back. I think they will. This next game's not going to show how good they are. We're kind of going to get a feeling with Nebraska and West Virginia coming up. So we'll find out real soon.
Sounds good, guys. Cramps all done. Oklahoma wins 40-35, sloppy win. At the end of the day, we're still Oklahoma fans. I'm Taylor Reed. This is my brother Nick Reed. And we'll see you next time, Sooner Saloon.
Boomer Sooner.